Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and Brink, and we are one. Today, I want to talk about the newly released Steam Deck Dock. And yes, it's just coming out fresh out of the oven. I was made aware by someone in our community that nicknamed Aura, is what I call them. And thank you, Aura, and also hi for helping. So, I already bought the device. I have a lot of thoughts about this, and honestly, I don't know if I'm going to recommend the device to everyone. So we're going to go in and actually look at just all the details on the purchase page and kind of just talk about this new development. So before we do that, make sure to like, subscribe, bash that bell with your crowbar. Now let's transition over to field trip mode. So if we go over to the page, this is, I'll have this in the link below where you can buy it. You can also go to the Steam client and buy it there. I found it easier actually to buy it through the web portal. So I went to the website, logged in and bought it. And so if we go here to the link that I'm going to provide, it will essentially have a buy now, and it'll take you through the purchase process, just like with your Steam Deck, games and everything. The expected delivery is in 1 to 2 weeks. We'll see if they hit that. Depending on how many people purchase it, the site was down for me on the Steam client. It wasn't on the website, so there might be some load issues going on. Now, it's cool and all. It definitely, not a lot has changed since they changed it the first time, or at least nothing really has changed. But honestly, the price is a little expensive. And so if we go into buy now, you will see $89. And for me, after tax and everything, it was $95.45. This is very pricey, much pricier than I thought they were going to do. They kind of blew my mind with the pricing. I thought it was going to be around $50, something more reasonable. The reason why I think the deck is actually a little pricier is because the power supply, the power adapter that it comes with, it's going to be the same one, at least claimed by them to be the same one that is included with the Steam Deck. And if you go to iFixit and see the price there, it's about $25. So you can roughly expect that to buffer that price. If they would have removed the power adapter or gave it as an option, I think that would have been the best option here, because I don't need another power adapter. They don't need it included. I just don't need another one. I have a bunch, and even just, I want the choice. I have one power adapter, that's fine. I'd rather just have it be a better price and then have them sold separately. More expensive than I think some of the other options, because they force you to buy the power adapter. But if you go through the page, it's a little bit of fluff. It's not bad. It's good. It shows like, all the stuff you can kind of do by hooking it up. And it's not wrong. I mean, technically you could load prints for your 3D printer into it. There's a lot of different things you could do with it. But it has the DisplayPort 1.4 and then HDMI 2.0, which I don't know why it's spec'd at 2.0. 2.1, I believe, is out. You got the power in. This is coming from the charger, from the power brick that you're going to be getting. Gigabyte Ethernet, and then the 3 USB 3.1s. Not even an extra USB-C, which is what the standard is kind of going towards a little bit more. I'm a little disappointed in this. Just that alone, I would have preferred another USB-C as opposed to a USB 3. So it looks like they have the same power adapter as the Steam Deck that you get. It claims right here is same as the one we ship with the Steam Deck. It's a 45 watt power adapter. And honestly, I've had issues with it. And I will say this, I'm sure Valve has done a ton of testing on this to make sure that the 45 watt works fine with the deck and all the stuff that they've tested. All I know is my experiences with simple dongle docks and stuff like that, a couple of them, have not been great when using the 45 watt power adapter that's provided by Steam Deck. My charging is limited greatly, and sometimes the accessories that I plug in, like I have a capture card, it doesn't work unless I plug in a bigger power adapter. At least these are my experiences. Maybe it was a bug on the deck. I don't know. I think it's more on the dock side of things, not really on the deck side of things. So I have a hard time with this one, because I'm sure they did their testing. I'm sure it's going to work, but until I get it in my hands and actually test it, I can't guarantee that that's the case. So I am going to say this is a negative. It should have been a higher wattage. There's no way of getting around that. So I think this is a mistake. They do do explain a couple of things, like some LG TVs do not work well with this. I think JSOX had some issues with that, and they're releasing firmware updates for that. They're also having to do that too for some of the LG displays that are out there. It talks about how this is not going to give you any better performance than just being undocked, and that's true. Like, it's not like the Switch. The Switch has 2 modes. It has docked mode, which increases the power just a little bit more, and then undocked mode, just limits it. Then they talk about like support pages you can go to like get help, which is really useful. So if you get the dock and you're having issues, these are good pages to go report bugs and all that. And this next part is really important, actually. This is what the distinguishing factor, whether or not you should get a Steam Deck dock or just like a JSOX or another type of dock. And that is their updating of the firmware process is built into more of the Steam clients. So if you plug your deck in to the dock, it should have an installation box pop up that says, hey, it looks like you have our dock. There's a new firmware update for it. Do you want to go through the update process and make it really easy? You're not going to get that with JSOX. Like, their firmware update right now has to be done on Windows, I believe. And so it's a little difficult. I'm sure JSOX will fix that in the long run, I hope, because if you're only running a deck with SteamOS, you don't have Windows. Kind of a poor thing to do, honestly, when it's a SteamOS accessory. So that's a little ding on like JSOX. But I will say this feature alone might be worth just not having to deal with firmware updates in the future. That being said, I don't think firmware updates are going to be very common. This is just one exception, is that LG displays don't work properly with the waking up and sleeping. Okay, and then they talk about how that the docking station will work just fine without a power supply, but it could potentially drain maybe some more of your battery faster, potentially, and they're also going to have to limit some of the capabilities of what it can do, like the USBs and all that. Like, probably essentially, if you're trying to charge a controller, it just won't work as to conserve power. And then the last piece is, can I use any Usbc dock with my deck, or do I have to get the official docking station? And the response is, you can use any dock you like. The work we've done to make Steam Deck and docking station compatible extends to other third-party hubs and docks. I think what they're talking about here is essentially any SteamOS updates or client updates that update compatibility with docks with the Steam Deck, because we've already and I suspected, and I think I'm correct, the day after they released the newest stable version of SteamOS in the Steam Deck client, they released the dock. And that client, those updates for the client and the OS, they included a lot of updates for the dock, like a ton of improvements to the dock and bugs and all that. And I've essentially been saying that they delayed this because more software than hardware, since they delayed it. And I think it just kind of all further confirms that. So in the end, I think getting another dock is going to be fine if you want the best experience possible with just the firmware upgrade process, which, like I said, it's probably not going to happen much more than this one, but you never know. The Steam Deck dock is going to be your go-to. Now, if you want something that's more reasonable for the price you're getting, then you could go maybe with JSOX, where it is cheaper. It might be in every aspect cheaper. I don't know. The dock tends to work great for me. It tends to work with cases like the kill switch, the JSOC case, and all that. I don't know about the Steam Deck and those types of things until I get one in my hands and test it. I can't tell you the compatibility wise if you can keep the case on or not with the Steam Deck dock, but I know with some of the JSOX ones you can, and there's YouTubers that have reported and they have videos that show that. But you're going to be getting essentially only thing you're really missing here is the display port from what's already included in the Steam Deck dock. That could add extra costs and all that. Right here blocks the air vent. This is my biggest criticism. Yes, you can move the deck over. That's an annoying thing to have to deal with. It definitely looks like they remedied it inside of the M.2 docking station for the deck, and it is $40 more, so it is pretty pricey, but it is $40 more than the Steam Deck dock, but you get an M.2 drive. And if you want to go look at more information at steamdeck.com/dock, you can go there, and it doesn't give you really any more information. You scroll down, this is the same page, everything else that we were given. If you click this, pick up a dock or get your own or learn more, it doesn't do anything. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of people just want the first party supported accessories like this. My recommendation is, if you don't want any hassles, you're fine paying $89 plus tax, get the deck dock. if you don't mind missing like the display port and want to save a little bit of money, and maybe your case actually fits in it better, then go with the JSOCs. We know what those do. They work great. And you're going to have to upgrade your firmware if you have an LG screen. But if you don't have an LG screen, I don't think you're going to have to be upgrading your firmware very often. Most of the updates will be on the Steam client, the Steam Deck client, that is, and the Steam OS, which is going to be provided to both the Steam Deck dock and also the JSOC stuff. Like, so there's really no huge difference here when it comes to support, except for that firmware stuff. Okay, with that, I've killed the subject. Let's see what you guys think. So let me know in the comments below. Which one are you getting? You're going to be getting the Steam Deck dock, the JSOC dock, the no dock, or a homemade dock, I guess, with cardboard, and you're going to just stick it right there and just not have anything hooked up to it, and you're just going to say, I enjoy just having this be standing there in a non-dock dock. So with that, yeah, this is exciting news. At least that we finally got it and we got to know. We don't have to wait any longer. So also check out all the goodies in the description below, including links to all the stuff that we've looked at and to the JSOC stuff. Yeah, go down, adventure down below. Thank you guys for watching. Check out my other videos. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Later.